So this is a battle that I had against a quite fun theme team, which you'll see in a moment, using my Regigigas team. So I'm looking at their team and thinking probably Zeora and the Raikou are threats to my Regigigas and Eternatus, which are the two that really I'm trying to clear the field. They're both quite bulky, so unless people are getting super effective attacks off, they really struggle to knock them out. So I put in the Regigigas and the Durrant. First of all, first turn the Durrant is going to be going for entrainment to give its hustle ability to Regigigas, which of course gets rid of the slow start and increases the power of its physical attacks. It's a nice trainer card there for Hazza, and yeah, nice theme team as well. And I just noticed their costume is actually themed as well after their team, so really fun to play against that team. So here we are, first turn, and just wanted to get a bit of damage off to start off, and of course going for the entrainment with the Durrant onto Regigigas. Happily dancing away together, and the hustle ability. So it's interesting they chose to set up the rain dance, of course boosting their water-based attacks, and of course their electrical attacks, particularly thunder. And the brick break going in there, so I'm happy enough. Next turn it's going to be a KO on the Y-comm if it stays in. So now time to Dynamax the Regigigas and get the max knuckle boost, and that's going to be a should be a KO really regardless of what comes in. And with the Durrant, just decided to swap it out. Didn't want to lose it to the boosted Surf, so Audino comes in, who's quite a good safe swap in, can take the damage, and then with Regenerator swap out again and get that damage back. As we'll see, it doesn't quite happen in this battle, but there we go. Regigigas in the Beast Ball, which I like. And here we go, get ready for your speakers to explode with the noise of Regigigas and his roar. So of course still outsped by the Pikachu, and the thunder coming in there, of course accurate because of the weather. Takes me well below half with the critical hit there, and paralyzes. Now this could have been quite significant, the Will-O-the-Wisp, which obviously fails there thankfully. That would have really caused Regigigas a lot of problems. May or may not have made a huge outcome to the battle, but I'm thankful it missed there, and of course the Y-comm is gone, and that's the end of their Will-O-the-Wisp opportunity. So Regigigas can easily be kind of crippled really by the burn, which will half its attack. But doing well now, got the +1 attack. And out comes the Aura, which of course I'm worried about, with the close combat capability. So I think, right, I need to use my strongest move, which is a max strike, 150 base power, and go straight for this Aura to try and one-shot it. And Audino, I do think about swapping it out, then think about Life Dew to cover Regigigas. And I think Baby Doll Eyes, because hopefully I can drop the Zero's attack before it attacks me, just to give the Regigigas more chance of surviving. As you see there, no success, because of course Audino is paralysed. And when I see the close combat doesn't knock me out, I'm very pleased. God, Audino goes down to that Surf, but now Regigigas is free to knock out basically the only Pokemon on the other team that I think stands a really good chance of doing heavy damage to it. I was thinking perhaps they'd Dynamax it, but they chose not to. And perhaps if they had, would have done significantly more there to me. So Regigigas still in a pretty strong position, over half health. And I think, well, why not? Let's get Eternatus out, have our strong team combination. And now this Magnezone comes out, and they know that I've got a fighting type attack, so I'm slightly suspicious of it, and I kind of think something funny is going to be going on with it. Maybe they're trying to bait out an attack somehow. So although I think about the max knuckle on it, actually I decide against it and just go again for max strike to try and ensure knocking out the Pikachu, and the Eternatus, who is slightly less important to my plan at the moment, with the Dynamax cannon, just to get a bit of damage on. I like the fact that Eternatus is quite fast, outspeeds a lot of things, especially the Pikachu. Now it's been that max strike speed drop from previous turn. And of course Pikachu, down he goes. So that's 2 Pokemon now for Regigigas' tally. And this team's great when it sort of comes together and works. It's great fun. When it doesn't, it really doesn't work. So thankfully this was one where it worked. And as you can see there, the Magnezone, I was expecting some kind of trickery there, but in fact no, just a try attack, which means that I feel safe now to go ahead and use that Brick Break, even though I'm out of Dynamax, just to try and take it out, especially from that health range. I feel confident with the +1 attack. Now Eternatus, I know they're probably going to be using a Psychic move, so Durrant is my swap in there, which keep Eternatus safe and will tank that Psychic move. Obviously being the bug type is not very effective. So here comes Durrant, and as expected the Psychic does a fair bit of damage, but obviously not very effective. Brick Break will take out the Magnezone. And then of course Regigigas still doing pretty well, and yeah, just about half health. Now obviously they haven't Dynamaxed yet, and that was Regigigas' 3rd takeout by the way there, and Toxic Rocker comes in. So I'm thinking what to do here. I kind of think I need to go for, although I'll miss the turn after the Giga Impact, I think it's probably worth it. I think maybe that'll get me the one hit KO. They're obviously down to 2 Pokemon at this stage. So yeah, think about it, and then actually I think I want to go for the Raichu, because again, if Regigigas is taken out, then I'm sort of relying on the Eternatus, but if I can take that Raichu out, then there's not really anything left to physically threaten the Eternatus, because there won't be anything with super effective attacks. So we get the G-Max there, and Durrant's Bug Bite goes through and all takes him out in one hit, which is very nice. Regigigas with the Giga Impact misses, which is a shame, but there you go. Massive guitar coming, smashing down, and that's really doing a lot of damage to Regigigas, so I can be fairly certain that he's going down next turn. And of course, something very good about that attack, that paralyses both of them, so I know, although I had the speed advantage there, I'm no longer going to have that. So really I'm expecting Regigigas or Durrant to go down this turn, most likely Regigigas. There's not a great deal I can do. It's not really worth switching in a fresh Pokemon just for the sake of taking the hit. I might as well try and stall out the Dynamax, as it were, just so that I can save my Sigilyph, who's obviously Psychic in the back, which will be able to do super effective damage later, and of course the Eternatus as well. And just went for the Iron Head on the Durrant because it's a slightly stronger attack there. Regigigas finally going down, having taken up most of the team, and respectable damage from Iron Head there on Durrant. So there's one turn of Dynamax left, so it's going to be time to sacrifice also I think dear old Dusclops, who is my sort of safe switch in for the Regigigas. If I feel like I'm going to be taking a fighting attack, then I can switch Dusclops in, and of course that will mean it just won't be effective at all. Find their Black Sludge. And, here we go. I decide to try and just play it safe for the long term, If they're physical, then I'm going to try and get the burn on them, partly to take out the effect of their black sludge, so it won't be healing up really because it'll be losing from burn, partly just if they're physical to ensure that it's not going to be doing quite so much damage. I was expecting that to be a one-shot there, but it just shows how tough Dusclops is with that Eviolite. So he survives, at least for that turn. Durrant paralysed, but the Will-o'-the-Wisp going off. So again, more confident now that I've prevented him gaining really anything with the recovery, because I'll sort of pretty much cancel that out with the burn damage each time. And of course, if it's a physical one, then that's really caused trouble with that. And it appears it is a physical set, as you'll see in a moment with the moves it uses next. So here we go, no reason to switch either out. Dusclops not really set up for physical attacking, but that's his attacking move, so go for that. And the Durrant usually he's helping handing Regigigas, but he's managed to survive and stay around, so helping hand for the Dusclops here to increase the damage. And as you can see, the throat chop, and proves that the use of Will-o'-the-Wisp was a good idea there. So being attacked by your own black sludge, very good damage there. So fairly confident next attack's going to be going down. My opponent's a better player than me really, because at this stage I probably would have given up, but they stayed for the whole fight. So that's a credit to them really, because you know, could have been easy just to quit or press the home button and disconnect. So another throat chop, but not enough. So it was a battle where I felt like I, you know, probably not a terribly equally matched teams, but equally I felt like I made some reasonable choices to mitigate the threats that they had, such as that Psychic Raichu. Obviously the team isn't the most competitive in the world, but the aim really is just to have a bit of fun with it and to try out different things just to see how we can get the most value out of the Regigigas. And really it is those games where first turn the Durrant is doing entrainment and giving hustle over to Regigigas that seem to be the best. And I think perhaps sometimes in the team preview I see they've got a fighting type, and so I think, well, I'll just hide the Regigigas away, and that tends to mean that I don't get it out at the same time as the Durrant to do that combination. So I need to give that a bit more thought, I think maybe. I think I get a lot of value out of the Durrant and the Audino, the Eternatus and the Regigigas. Dusclops only just put in recently and starting to enjoy having that in, but the Sigilyph really not sure about that. I mean, sure, I could just put in a Grimmsnarl and sort of play to the meta like that, but yeah, really trying to avoid you know, the real kind of auto pick, easy pick options. The aim really is to see if I can have some fun and win with teams that you know are not just following the meta. So hopefully you've enjoyed seeing that battle, and yeah, it was a nice team from my opponent. So thank you for watching.